4th of July weekend. It's going to be amazing. Who is excited about having a long weekend? Hop on, say hello, let's talk. My name is Norma. If you haven't met me before, I am here to talk about connections. Today, I feel like this is the message that I would like to address because so many of us are searching for connections, especially those of us at this point in our life. We're at that second chapter of our life, or maybe even the third chapter of our life. And as life happens, we lose connections with people. So if you're this person, then hop on, let's talk, and I can share with you about a community where you can find the connections that you're looking for. So hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. And so let me back up and explain just a little bit. So as we're raising our children, usually, let's go back even further. Let's go back to high school. We're in high school. You have your group of friends. A lot of times your friends, your connections are people that you've known for a very long time, or, maybe not. But usually you have these connections because they're people in your circle, right? In your inner circle. And then you grow up, you have kids, you have your family, and suddenly your friends become your kids' friends' parents. That's who we run around with. That's who we do the things with. After the ball games, we all go have a meal together. On the weekends, we hang out together because the kids want to get together and play together. Those are our connections. And what happens is through the years, sometimes those connections stay the same, and then sometimes they change depending on what your kids are involved in. And then you get to that point in your life where you grow up, your kids grow up, they leave, and suddenly those friends that you always had the connections with, they're not there anymore because they're going in different directions. And then you get to that point in your life where it's like, who am I? Because I've been mom or dad all this time. Maybe I've been a worker, an employee all this time. Who am I really? Like, what is it that I like to do? I mean, that's where I found myself. Is that you? Can anybody relate to that? Where you wonder, like, gosh, what is it that I even enjoy doing? Because I've spent so many years raising kids and working a job, and basically, what do I even enjoy doing anymore? I don't even know. I didn't even think about like goals and dreams and what my future was going to look like, because once my kids grew up, I threw myself into my job. I was so busy spending all the time helping my boss get richer and richer, helping him to reach his goals. He had his goals of what he wanted his practice to look like. And I would literally sit there every day and take notes and be like, okay, we need to contact this person. We need to get this going in order to help him reach his goals and dreams. I wasn't even thinking about my goals and dreams for me, Norma, for my family. What is it that we want at that next phase of our lives? I wasn't even thinking about that. And then, of course, the day came that I ended up leaving my job because my boss was going to cut my pay. And I just knew I was not going to continue to work 10 hours a day and do it for a third less of my paycheck. I wasn't going to do that. I decided that I was going to find a different way, that I was going to make it work. I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to reinvent myself. And that's what I've done, guys. And so looking back at my life and looking back at different things that have happened to me in my life that are all blessings, just as we all have. We have things that happen to us, and at the time we may not understand why it happens. We may not feel like it's a good thing. It can feel very bad sometimes, but they're all blessings. And that's what I'm here to share with you. I decided that yes, I want to help people at this point in their life. I want to help people know that you have options. You don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for working a job that makes you miserable. You can actually do things that you enjoy doing and earn an income from home, working around your family, doing it however you want. and it's actually called just redesigning your life. That's kind of what I'm calling it, because my age group, we were raised thinking that we were supposed to go to school, and once you got out of high school, you went into the workforce, whatever that meant. Or you went to college and you got a degree, a tech degree, you got some sort of education and went into the workforce. We were never taught that we could work for ourselves or be an entrepreneur, or at least I wasn't, my family. I always assume everybody's like me, but maybe there were people out there that were being taught how to be entrepreneurs, but I don't think so. I don't think that was really talked about back then. And of course, we didn't have the technology that we have now. The technology that we have now is amazing. We can do anything. We found this out a few years ago with that virus that was shutting the world down. We now know that we can do pretty much anything from home. So why aren't we? Why did we just go right back into that job that we're not happy with, working all the hours, taking time away from our families, time away from our grandkids, working until we're 70, 80 years old because we feel like we have to and we have no choice, right? Or at least that's how it can feel sometimes. Hey Manish, welcome, welcome. I'm in Southeast Texas. Where are you from? Thanks for being here and hanging out with me. So we just kind of like went right back to it. And I feel like personally, God was shaking us up a bit. And I feel like a lot of us, myself included, kind of missed it. We missed the message. So he had to shake me up a bit more. And that's what happened to me when they ended up cutting my pay and I left my job. Because you know what? We're all meant for more. We're all meant for more. Hello, bot. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so that's what I'm here to share with you. Ways that you can do things that make you happy and do them from home. Do them around your family and earn an income. But you know what? Maybe it's not about an income with you. Maybe you're somebody who's just looking for people who understand your situation, things that you're going through. I can relate to that also. I'm raising my grandson. And, I'm 58 years old, raising a 3-year-old. It's not easy. And there's a lot of us out there who are doing this, right? And so that's why I chose to take control of my life. I decided I was going to find a way to empower myself in order to make our life better and not make it harder, not make it to where we have to like work until we're 70, 75 years old to just pay the bills. I don't want that. I want more, and I feel like we deserve more, and you do also. From India, Manish, welcome. You're in Dubai, or no, Delhi. Is that right? You're in Delhi? Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I love that it's probably in the middle of the night over there now, right? There's someone who usually hangs out with me, and he's from India also. And I think it's like in the middle of the night or really late over there right now. So thanks for being here. So when I started my community, I initially started the community for people raising their grandchildren because it's necessary. People who are raising their grandchildren yes, we do it out of the goodness of our heart, but we're not doing it because, we just want to. It's out of a need, right? We're doing it for all different reasons, but it's out of a need. And it's hard for people to understand unless you're going through it. It's no different from anything else. When you go through hard things, people can look at you from the outside and they just really don't get it. They don't understand what you're going through unless they're going through it also. So that's why I decided to open up Home Base, my community, to help people like me that are raising grandchildren have a place that they can go and network, get to know each other, share stories, share experiences, and be heard and be understood and not be judged, because there's a lot of judgment going on out there, guys, a lot of judgment in this world. And just know that it's going to be okay. Sometimes it's nice to just be able to talk to someone and they've been through it and they can tell you like, hey, I've been through that and it's going to be okay. So that's why I decided to start Home Base Community. Yeah, it's in the middle of the night, Manish. That's what I was thinking. I thought it was. Thanks for being here. Hey, Sagar, welcome, welcome. I was just talking about you. Manish is from India also. No, you're perfect. Thanks for being here. So, basically, when I started the community, that was what I had in mind. I had in mind helping people raising grandchildren. But it goes deeper for me because it's not just about people who are raising grandchildren. It's about actually helping people at this point in their life. If you're over, at least over 40, 45, 50 especially, you're at that point where you're looking at your retirement and you're thinking like, how am I going to do it? How am I going to make it? What do I want it to look like? Because if you're like me, I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about like, what do I want in that next stage of my life? I was just like, 57, I don't have a job. What the hell am I going to do now? I mean, that's where I was. Like, I got to find something. I was feeling very desperate, very scared, and terrified. And I don't want other people to feel that way. I want you to know that you have options. There's a lot of ways that you can earn online at home. You don't have to have skills. Like, I didn't know anything, but I can learn, right? That's what I did. I learned. And if you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and you're willing to like try something new and be coachable, let someone coach you, then let's get you living that better life. And it's something though that you want to start now. It's not immediate. This is not something that's going to be like, all right, there it is. It's no different from anything else. If you started a new job today, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have new strategies. You're going to have new people to get to know. You're going to have a new boss. You're going to have new, rules and things that you're going to have to learn. It's going to be difficult at first. And then the more you do it and the more you get used to it, the easier it gets, right? That's the same way being in the online space. Initially, it is kind of difficult, but you get used to it and you learn. Oh, thank you, Manish. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So, when I started the community, I was thinking people raising grandchildren. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to change it just a bit. I'm going to open it up to anybody who is wanting to make a change in their life, whether it's to start a new business. Maybe you have a business already, a home-based business, and you want to grow your business. Maybe you're wanting more connection. That's what we're talking about today, is the connection. Maybe you aren't really looking to earn an income, but you want the community. Maybe you're just working on yourself because you're at that slump phase of your life where you're like, who am I? What do I even want out of life? You may not even know if you do want to start your own business. I mean, you may not even know you have that opportunity. So many of us stop dreaming. We think that it's too late. Like, I'm this age, it's too late. I can't, my dreams aren't important anymore. My goals aren't important anymore. You tell yourself that. You tell yourself that it's not important anymore. When it is, if it's something in your heart, then it is important. And you telling yourself that you're too old, that you don't, you're not smart enough, I don't know enough, that's just making excuses. I don't have enough time. That's another one. I don't have enough time. We all have the exact same amount of time in a day. It's just a matter of how you want to use your time. If you choose to watch TV all day, listen to the news and all the negativity all day, that's your choice. But if you choose to improve your life, I can show you a better way. I can show you how to structure so that you can get everything done in your day and run a business, improve your life, however that means, whatever that means to you. Maybe it's a relationship thing that you're looking for. You can improve your life just by making tiny little changes. I call them tiny little action steps every day. You don't have to make big changes. The big changes don't necessarily make the big change. You can make tiny little changes in your life every day and get big change immediately. But a lot of it is just mindset. It's all in your head. It's all about how you look at things. In my past profession in dentistry, I saw so many people come in every day and they were miserable. They were miserable with their lives and they weren't happy. And the thing is that they were making the choice to be not happy. You have a choice to see happiness. Happiness is all around us. You may not be happy in your relationship, but you can look around and see a beautiful blue sky or a beautiful sunset or a beautiful flower blooming or a puppy or your grandchild or something that makes you happy in this life. Maybe it's a cup of coffee. It could be anything. You have happiness all around you. So if you can't find your happiness in the thing that's making you miserable, then find it in other places and it will bring the happiness out in you. And when that happens, it starts attracting happiness from all different areas, even the ones that you feel stuck in. If it's finances, like you're just looking at that bank account and you're thinking, God, I'm just miserable. I'm miserable because I don't have this. I'm miserable because I don't have that. I can't get this. I can't do that. Look for it in other places. Look for the happiness in anything, any daily thing that makes you happy. And then over time, once you're training your brain, then suddenly you are a happier person and you're connecting, aligning with the happiness in your finances or whatever it is that you're feeling stuck in. So that is just a choice. Happiness is 100% a choice, just like so many things. Any kind of feeling is a choice. Tiny changes, steady and slow. Absolutely, Sagar. I love that. It's visible in 13 states in USA. If you state lines in this, you can witness. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll have to check into that. I haven't heard of that. That sounds really interesting. Maybe tonight, I guess, because it's still sunny here. But yeah, that sounds really cool. So the point to my community is to help people get to know each other, help people connect, whatever it is that you're looking for connection, and I feel like, it's so important for us to have people, have community. Community is everything, y'all. And I have to say, I was the person who thought that I could go at everything by myself. I did that for a lot of years. I spent a lot of time thinking that I had to barrel through and just get through whatever it was that was going on in my life instead of asking for help or instead of reaching out to friends or family, because it's a lot of stuff that I just didn't want to share. And I guess that's why when I decided to form this community, I was thinking about that because there is a lot of hard things that have happened in my life, a lot of things with my family, with my daughter particularly, and my son, but especially my daughter. And I didn't want to share it with family. I didn't want to share it with friends because I didn't want them judging. I didn't want them judging her. Didn't really care if they were judging me because they did. 100% people did and probably still do. But I didn't want them judging her, especially. And so I just kind of figured I'm all by myself. I'm all alone. Like nobody can understand what I'm going through. And that's not true. There are people out there going through the same things, right? Oh, the Northern Lights. That's what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that was happening. Community is indispensable without it. Yes. Yes. It's super important. So that's why this community is going to be huge for people, because we need to know that we have somewhere to go, somewhere that people are going to understand us, somewhere where we can share and not be criticized, not be judged, and just say it, get it out. Because when we keep things inside, sometimes it just eats at us and it's not helpful. If we can share it and just get it out, it makes a huge difference, especially if it lands with people who get you. And so that's why this home-based community is so important. So if anybody's out there raising a grandchild, or if you are a parent of a child with addiction, if you are a parent who has dealt with your child running away and not having not knowing where they are. If you are someone who has adoption in your family, because we're going to talk a lot about adoption in the community because it's in my life a lot. Again, God has a purpose for the things that we go through. And so we're going to be talking about adoption. And also we're going to be talking to people who are, or we're going to be helping people who are wanting to start businesses, online, home-based. That's why it's called home-based, y'all. Home-based businesses. Or if you already have a home-based business and you want to grow it and you want to reach and have a community, because we do not grow by ourselves. We grow with people. We grow with community. So that's what this home-based community is about, guys. Too much peeps, feelings, inferior pieces of shit. So always real people in the community matters. Yes, it really does, Sagar, because that's what I was saying earlier. Like, so so it's just with me, like, I don't mind sharing my story. I've shared it a lot on the different platforms. It's just like, where do I start? How do I start? So, yeah, my daughter is an addict. She's still an addict. She started running away at 15, and that's super hard as a parent. Like, I was devastated. What am I doing wrong? Everything was my fault. I felt like I'm a worst parent in the world. Like, what am I doing that she keeps running off? I mean, I would find her, drag her home. Back then I was working part-time. So on my days off, I would literally spend my days driving around trying to contact whoever it was, because she wasn't at school, to find her. I would literally drive around trying to find her. And sometimes I would find her and drag her home. And then other times I couldn't get her to come home. And I would get I'd be at work and I'd get a message or a text from a friend, a friend's parent, or a friend of hers parent usually, saying, hey, we heard this and we heard that, and we don't know if you know. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. We don't know if you know, but, and it's like, somewhere inside of them, they were probably trying to be helpful, but you're digging for information too. And it's really difficult to maneuver staying, number one, I got a patient right here that I'm literally working on and working with. And you just told me this news, and now my head is all about, what is she doing? Where is she at? Is she okay? Because it was never good. It was never like, oh, she's at the ice cream shop, right? It was never good. It was always bad. And the person, it was always a bad person. So it was very difficult. Yeah. I'm telling you, Sagar, I got a lot of stuff. Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, what you can do. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, there's a lot. Don't look at people and assume that you know their story, because you don't. And, we are just regular people. We're regular people. We did all the stuff. The kids were involved in everything. They didn't want for anything. We raised them in the church. We did all the stuff, and addiction is real. Addiction hits anyone. It doesn't have to be the people that are just living on the streets. Those people came from somewhere. They have families. At one time, they had families. And so that's why this community is so important to me, because people need a place to go and share exactly what I'm sharing right now and not feel like they're being judged. I talk about it, and I used to not talk about it because I felt like it was her story. And I thought, I don't want to talk about her addiction issues because that's her story to share. But the reality is, it affects everybody. It affects anyone who's involved with that person. And especially if it's a child, especially if it is your child, whether they're grown, a kid, it don't matter. It affects everybody. And it's my story. And now I'm raising her son. So it's my story to share now. And I want other people to know that they're not alone. So that's why I created this community. So if there's people out there and you want the information on my home base community, then please reach out to me. I'm going to put the information in the description of this video or of this live. And then reach out to me or put, just message me if you want the information. It's not finished just yet, but it will be very soon. I'm just trying to incorporate everybody. At first, I have it created for people raising a grandchild. I already had that done, but now I'm kind of tweaking it a bit in order to add the people who are, again, you have any kind of addiction, but especially a child with addiction. I'm going to have people come in and talk about it. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my experiences, but I'm also going to bring in other people who will share their experiences also. And I'm also going to be dealing with adoption because adoption is very deep, like I said, with my family. I was adopted here in the United States at 8 days old. So I was just a baby when I was adopted back a long time ago, which is a whole other thing because you hear people all the time talk about, that they were abandoned and blah, 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 and they have different stories. Even at 8 days old and not ever like having and knowing who your birth parents are, you still have abandonment issues. Abandonment issues run deep. I don't know how. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, it's real. And so my story of adoption is different from my kids because my kids were adopted. And they were adopted at 7 and almost 6. My daughter was almost 6. My son was 7, and they are from Ukraine. And they came from orphanages. And so their story of adoption is different from my story of adoption. Abandonment issues run deep. It doesn't matter what your story is. And of course, the addiction issues, which a lot of her issues, it stems from her lack of self-esteem, her abandonment issues, and all of that. It's not an excuse. It's a crutch. It's not an excuse because my son was, again, choices. We make choices. And then, of course, we adopted our grandson. So adoption runs very deep in my family. And so we will definitely have that as far as me sharing my story. But I'm going to bring in other people also sharing stories and talking about different areas of adoption for people who need that. Because we need that. Like when I was young growing up, you didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it. They literally took babies and matched them with families so that you don't look different from your family. Like I don't look a lot different from my brothers or my mom or my dad, but I still do. But I've still always known I was different. Nowadays adoption, it doesn't matter. It's just you fit in. You just fit in with your family. It doesn't matter the color of your skin or your eyes or any of that stuff. And it's talked about a lot more openly now than it was when I was growing up. So, there's just a lot of stuff that comes with it. So we're going to have a lot of that within the community. We're also going to talk a lot about raising grandchildren and the different things that come with that, because there are kids that have a lot of like mental issues. Then they start having some addiction issues. I've seen that with people whose grandchildren are becoming teenagers, especially. The diets and how to prepare foods better for young children so that they don't grow up with all the ADD and ADHD and all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to bring in people who are going to be sharing different ways of preparing foods and that kind of thing for us. So there's going to be a lot going on within this community. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about ways to reinvent you, how you can find something that makes you happy, that you enjoy talking about, like what I'm doing right now. This I love doing. I love talking to people about my family and even though these issues are not fun, and I'm still living it, guys. Like, I'm still living it. My daughter is still an addict. She's not recovered. She's still out there. I think she's in jail right now. Last I knew, she was. So it's like real stuff. You have a safe place to go and talk and share and get help. And, if you need to, if you're someone who's looking to reinvent and make your life better, you want to be able to still earn an income and you want to be able to work it around your family, you can. You're going to be in front of a camera unless you tell me that you already know what you're going to do. Let's talk. The first step is figuring out what it is that you want. What are your goals and dreams? And then we strategize and make a plan how to get you there. And then once we know where you're going, then I'm going to be pushing you, right? I'm going to push you to do it. This is not something to just talk about. We're going to take action. Because if you don't take action, nothing happens, right? Didn't you admitted her in rehab? No, she's never been to rehab. You can't take someone and just admit them. I mean, she's 30 years old. You can't just put someone in a rehab. They have to want to go. Now, she did get a court-ordered something back when she was 18, I think. And she stayed clean for a bit. But the courts did that. I didn't. The courts, it's not her first time in jail. Not the first time. But yeah, I mean, she's an adult. She's not a child. And you can't just throw someone in rehab. I mean, you can, I guess, but if they don't want to go, they're not going to stay. They can't keep them. Can't keep them. But if if you want to start over, because again, there's a lot of us out there who are doing this. There's a lot of us raising grandkids. There's a lot of people losing jobs. There's a lot of people who are in the later years of life, and they want more. They want to have an income coming in and not have to go to the 9 to 5. They want to be able to work it around their family, and they want to be able to do it from where they want to be. And that's the beauty of this, is I can do this from anywhere. Like right now I'm home, but I don't have to be home. We can travel and I can still do this. As long as I have my phone, as long as I have, some kind of internet, Wi-Fi, then I'm good. I'm good. And so if you want more information, just put something in the comments, and I'm gonna in the description of this live, I will have the home-based community, and I'm also gonna have my calendar link so you can set up some time with me, and then let's talk about what it is you want. Let's talk about like what's going on with you. What is it about this that you're relating to? What is it that speaks to you? What is it that makes you so happy and excited that you want to talk about it all the time? For me, it's this. It's raising my grandson. It's, getting through raising my daughter. Did it happen the way I wanted? No. Is she where I want her to be? No. But I still have faith. I still pray for her every day, every minute of every day, that she will come out of this, because I know God's in control of this and God has her. And she's where she needs to be right now. And I 100% believe that. Isn't addiction a crime? Why is she imprisoned if you want to tell? Addiction is not a crime. Addiction's not a crime. Addiction is a crutch, and it can cause people to do things that are crimes, but being an addict is not a crime. Once you're an addict, you're an addict. I mean, you're an addict for life. I mean, you can be recovering, in recovery, but you are an addict, and it's just basically a term, but it's not a crime. What is she in jail for? I'm not even sure. All I know is that I heard she was. I'm not even sure what it was for. Is needed on that. Only, I don't know what that is. Only clandestiny is needed on that. I'm not sure what clandestiny is. I'm not sure what that means. But so if you're looking for a community, if you're looking for connections, people who get you, people who hear you, that's what this community is about. I have a TikTok account that I share everything on, and it's called, if you do at Love Hope Protect, all one word, Love Hope Protect, no spaces, Love Hope Protect _ home base, that's me. And that's where you'll see a lot of videos that I've shared on my life, on everything that I've gone through with her, with my grandson. So he makes me so happy, and I am so blessed that all of the hard stuff it's okay, because it's led me to where I am. And I feel like that's you too. You know that all the stuff that's been hard, whatever it is, whether it's, the path to you getting your grandchild, or the path to, wanting to reinvent yourself and have a different second chapter in your life, whatever that path is that's been so hard, it's led you right here where you're supposed to be. And I love that. So let's talk and share with me what it is that you want, and then let's make a plan to get you there. But if you never start, you're never going to get there. And maybe you just want to come and hang out in the community. Come hang out in the community. You're going to meet other people, and you're going to, hit that connection with whoever it is that's going to get you, because that's what this community is about. So much that after from the grievous pain, you started a community to help other. It really matters a lot. Oh, thank you, Sagar. I appreciate you. I feel like it, because it's been on my heart. Like, I've known for a long time that God meant for me to help people. I just wasn't quite sure how to do it. And so I would kind of go about it however I thought that I should. And then it's kind of just progressed, and then this is where I am now. I don't feel like it's going to stop here. I feel like it's just going to continue to grow. I don't know how, but I feel like it's going to continue to grow. So does anybody have questions? Anybody want to know anything about the community, the home-based community for people raising grandchildren, for people wanting to reinvent themselves? If you're ready to rewrite the rules, whatever that means to you, we're going to rewrite them. You do not need to stay stuck. You don't have to settle. No. Be what you want, and do it how you want. Most people find that they want to be able to earn from home, to be able to spend more time with your family, and do it around your family, and not be going to a job every day, and not be saying, I can't be here for this activity because I have to work today. Work it around your family's schedule. That's what I'm talking about. So if you want the information on home-based community, please reach out to me. I'm going to put the information in the description of this live, and also my calendar link, so you can set up some time and talk to me, so we can figure out what it is that you are looking for. Whatever it is, raising a grandchild, maybe multiple grandchildren, great grandchildren, because I know you're out there too. I see you. Maybe you have raised your grandchildren and now they're grown and they're on their own. You have so much value to give to my community, to myself, because we're looking for people like you who have already done it. You've already been through it, and you've come out the other side just amazing. You could give so much hope to those of us that are like me, that are still in it. So if that's you, reach out. Looking to start a new home-based business, or you want to grow your home-based business, or maybe you're just looking to improve your life, reach out to me and we'll have a conversation, make a plan to get you to that dream life that we're all looking for. How was your last session? Did you attend that? My last session, I'm not sure what you're talking about, my last session. But my last live I did a live on Monday on a different platform, and it went really good. I feel like this one on here is always very deep because I'm talking more about my community here. And it just gets very deep, and it's going to continue to be that way just because that's the community. That's what we're about. So all right, well, thanks for letting me hang out with you guys today, and I will be back here again next week, 1 p.m. next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Reach out again in that description. I'll have the information, and then schedule some time with me in my calendar, and let's talk about what it is that you're looking for, because I'm here to help, and I want to get you the connections that you're looking for, because that's what's going to help improve your life. That's what's improving my life. You know, don't be like me and try to go at stuff by yourself. Reach out to community. Community is everything. And we're going to be a community of people that are compassionate, loving, and you're going to be able to feel safe in our community. So in last stream, you were saying that next day is my seminar. Oh, yeah, that's right, Sagar. I forgot about that. Yes, it was great. So that would have been last Wednesday. And this past Thursday, I actually did do a live in-person event here locally for my LifeWave phototherapy patches. And we had a great turnout and made some sales, met some people, my connection. It's actually my live connection because I work from home, right? So most of my connections here are online. So it's not like in person. Thank you, Sagar. Take care. Get some sleep. But yeah, so I have my people here online. So I like to get out and have like in-person events in order to actually have in-person connections with people. So that was super cool. I love that. So it was a very successful. We're right now in the process of scheduling our next one, probably in a few weeks, and that will be amazing too. So, and I'll share more about my LifeWave patches with you guys in the community, the home-based community also. But I'm going to take off, go have some lunch. Yes, it's a late lunch, but I'm going to go have some lunch. And thanks for hanging out with me, letting me hang out with you. Reach out for more information about my home-based community. I look forward to meeting you guys within the community. Take care.